Warning: the following program is a collection of idiots talking about the happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, or the Infinite Plus network. There may be some out of pocket things said on this show because this is how we talk to each other. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Your homies, the Three Count Podcast. P.S. Please don't sue us. Welcome to the
Villains Lounge.
Welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and super villains of all ages. I want to welcome y'all to the Villains Lounge, and I am your host, the Three Counts resident supervillain, the Dark Lord himself, the Dark Goat, Damien Fatale. And with me, I have my boy, Twitch Graves, the only Graves that matters.
No,
Which
I'm
I
just
like
the
that
only one that matters.
The only one that matters?
Yep, the only one.
You know what? I'll give you that one. I'm going to let you have that one today.
I get it.
Yeah. So, this week's been interesting. Lots of crazy things have happened.
Oh my god.
Lots of noteworthy things. I guess I'm going to get into some normal news, and then I'm going to let Twitch over here talk about some, I guess it's a little bit more on the sad but good kind of news. But I guess I'm just gonna jump right into it. Drew McIntyre finally re-signs to WWE, so awesome on that. I know Finn Balor signed like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Drew got a signed sword engraved from The Rock for his re-signing. He got presented with to him at a restaurant, I believe.
A beautiful looking Scottish Claymore.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was engraved. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's engraved. This is kind of like Rock, I guess, like as a promise he made of some sort to Drew, and I think it had something to do with his signing. So, hats off. I'm happy Drew resigned. That's where he belongs. He's doing some good shit. I mean, he's always done good shit, but you know what I mean. It's this character work from this Drew that we're getting right now. I'm loving every minute of it. So,
it's fun to see in my mind. I've always liked Drew McIntyre. There are times I complain about what he does, but you know what, man? He is good at what he does at the end of the day.
Yeah, he is. Then we got, I guess, on the more WWE front, I think there's like a couple more releases. I believe it was Von Wagner, and the sad one was Cameron Grimes. He did a Twitter post, or IG post, one of the two. It was very heartfelt. He put his emotions on his sleeves. I hope he just goes out there, tear shits up, and then come back and get his dream job back. Because I enjoy Cameron Grimes, and I enjoyed him before he became Cameron Grimes, and he was Trevor Lee on the Indies and in TNA. Yeah. In TNA, he was killing it.
And it's nothing against Cameron because I think he is a great worker. I absolutely loved him in NXT. I think he was phenomenal.
He was.
For the longest time, up until the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at this year's WrestleMania, on this SmackDown, but I forgot he was there.
A lot of people did.
Wholeheartedly.
A lot of people did. And because he wasn't used like he should have been. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It just kind of is what it is. And that was sad, but you know what? 90 days, you get to go out there and kill it, my friend. And I mean, who knows? In those 90 days, you might get hired back.
I hope he does, man.
That'd be awesome for him.
Even if they send him back to NXT, because I feel NXT was a great place for him.
It's been a great place for a lot of people, I feel.
Yeah.
And then we have Vince and Nick Khan are selling off their TKO stock. Vince, I get. Not sure why Nick is doing it. Um, it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like Nick Khan's been doing a great job filling in the shoes for Vince, getting the job done, shit done, cleaning out, staff. I mean, they got rid of the guy that was doing the contract negotiations and talent relations.
Yeah.
Uh, there was rumor that some of the wrestlers weren't digging him, and that's why it was taking so long for negotiations to get through. Like he just wasn't good at what he does, and he was probably a fucking ass about it. So let's just keep it. He's probably an asshat.
Right. More than likely, man. More than
Let's
likely.
just call it what it is. And they got rid of him. And look at that. They re-signed Ben. They re-signed Drew, who was probably the most tedious one and probably
Yeah.
more meticulous and like the
Yeah.
biggest one that they were trying to get re-signed, and
That
makes
gives
me
a little that gives a little bit more wiggle room too, because I believe Seth's got a contract coming up. I
Becky.
believe Becky's got a contract
Yep.
coming up. Uh
They got a couple of people. It's like a
yeah,
couple of people.
there's a handful of them, and releases always suck, but you just gotta accept it and look at the bigger picture. Look who you get to keep versus people you weren't really using.
Yeah, not seeing, and it makes sense that they were actually this time in these releases. It was people that weren't being seen on TV all the time that didn't have a major storyline. Because if you think about the releases in the past, there'd be people that have been on TV and have storylines, and then they're gone.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's good to see that the right hand is knowing what the left hand is doing in WWE at the present point in time. So kudos to them. It
yeah.
does suck that these people release, but at least they can go out there and do stuff, make their name bigger. Because we know you make your name bigger, you'll always get invited to come back. As long as you don't burn your bridge,
Never say never.
you should be good. And I mean, like, you have to like seriously burn your bridge. Like, little sly remarks are probably not going to
Uh,
burn bridges, but if you completely shit on it, then
there was a time that people thought CM Punk burned the bridge, and look where he's at now.
but yet there was times where fucking look, I always thought that Jeff Jarrett would never fucking step foot back in WWE, and now that nigga's a WWE Hall of Famer.
Man, right?
He
You want
got
to talk
fired.
about
He got fired live on TV.
Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah, that's another one. Bret Hart.
Yeah,
uh, I I feel like
the list
Jeff's was
goes
worse.
on.
The thing is, Jeff's was worse. So the reason Jeff was fired live on the Nitro Raw cross broadcast,
Yeah.
like that was like one of the first things Vince did,
Oh yeah,
like publicly fire this man, and it's because he was trying. He didn't want to lose the title to China. He didn't want to put her over in that good housekeeping match,
well, tough
and
shit.
tried. And he was at the end of his contract, and he tried to hold up Vince.
I mean, you want to talk about people holding up Vince? Look at
Like,
Ultimate Warrior,
yeah,
$550,000.
there's a couple of people that did that, but it was one of those like I can understand Vince being pissed, but I mean it is what it is. Um, and my last part of the news is Tony Khan in general.
Oh
Um,
man, here we go.
now
Here we
Tony
go.
Tony in the past 14 days have actually had some good solid wrestling on his programs. Actually, the
Okay.
build to Dynasty was actually really good. They build all those matches very well with their three programs that they have. So kudos to that. I'm definitely going to give him his flowers on that. Dynasty was actually really good. I did only see the main event. I did see some of the beginning, but like hearing everybody's comments, even people that are not like diehard AEW fans, all said it was very, very solid. And just looking at the card itself, you can tell that it was very, very solid. Um, you know, oh, he got kicked off. Them making sense of the whole entire the situation with like it's like the whole entire thing with the video being shown and like them making sense of it, bringing Jack Perry back in, being part of the elite, uh, like all of that. It started to make sense. FTR, Jack Perry coming in and costing FTR the tag titles, and then the attack on Tony. I give it to Tony. He sold the neck injury by using the neck brace, and it kind of just was what it was. And then there he goes. He's back. And the only issue I have with Tony this week, and is the reason why he got my dumbass of the week. Uh, he he tried his best to sell the neck injury, but he was moving his neck too much. That's just a minor little gripe. It's not that big of a deal. I still give him his flowers for keeping the story alive and showing up with the neck brace at least.
Maybe it's not a broken neck. Maybe it's a strained one.
Yeah, but when you still have I don't say it was broken, but when you have a neck injury, you're not supposed to move it like that. The doctors even tell you not to move it like that.
Oh, I know.
So that's why I said he kind of dropped the ball on that. But I'm not going to nitpick at that. I'm going to drop it. That's not the reason why he got dumbass of the week for me. For me, it was the comment that he made about WWE being the Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling. If he had mentioned just Vince, he could have got away with not being put on the ballot for dumbass of the week finally. By doing nothing but good. But of course, he had to ruin it on Friday. He was so close, dude. So close.
He will always be.
But nope, I'm giving Tony his flowers. Past couple of weeks have been okay. They've been good. Let me not completely shit on it. Dynamite was a bit questionable this week. Collision heard was fire, so it kind of picked up. I think the structure of Dynamite was a bit off.
Okay.
Swerve should have not opened this show like he did. It should have been more of a championship celebration and challenge for a match right before the main event angle.
I can't disagree with that.
Moxley should have not been defending the IWGP Championship against Hobbs.
Someone see, and I agree with the people who are upset about this and New Japan fans, because he has nothing to do with New Japan. There is no history there with him and New Japan. There's just, hey, let's have a random match. And I'm sure there was more to it than let's just have a random match. But I get the gripe of people saying, why is this guy who has nothing to do with this company challenging for our top title?
They don't even have a story. They're both technically heels.
And even my question is, do you think it's worse that he has nothing to do with the company and is challenging for the title? Or is it worse that the title is being defended on a show that is not even the company's show?
Both.
Right?
Like really?
It's both. Which is the lesser of two evils in that situation?
Probably the unknown challenger is the lesser of two evils. Yeah. Because the fact that a championship from another company is being defended in their main event, I get that they have a partnership, but that makes no sense. No offense. It could have won second. It could have won second, not the main event. Because I don't count the angle as the main event. It's just it's the ending angle of the show. So
okay.
But yeah, no, it just kind of is what it is. Tony seems like he's trying new things and throwing it at the wall and seeing if it sticks. So,
which is how you get somewhere.
Yeah. Well, maybe AEW needs to become a fucking developmental, because that's what you do there.
Oh, you mean like NXT? If you quote Chaz.
Yeah. Even though hey, look, guys, go and vote for my NXT roster. It's off the hook. Mine is the best.
No.
Mine is the best show.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Nope. I hate to
Anyway,
do this to you. I
my
hate to
show
do
is
this to
back.
you, but I'm gonna plug the shit out of SmackDown right now because I'm sorry, he got you all.
Look, nope. I don't. I had a method to my madness. I have a
There,
good mix of
there.
young, great talent and like good up echelon talent. So I have a perfect mix. I'm happy.
I bet you are, and
I I pretty much got everybody I wanted.
nope. I'm supporting Team SmackDown on this one. Go vote
I
for
don't know,
SmackDown.
man. I don't know. That
SmackDown.
round, that round, that round four, man. I picked some heavy hitters in that one.
You did, but what makes round four the best is Chaz picked all of you. So you know what?
He did pick all of us.
Win, win.
Fine, I'll give you that. All right, let's go into the injury corner, sir. The floor is
All
yours.
right. I'm gonna save the best one for last because, as we all know, Rhea Ripley's out with an elbow injury. Dom has to have Tom and Jerry surgery, uh, which I just learned today, thanks to Damien, is actually a baseball injury. That's weird, but I get it, the way you're moving your arm and all that. Uh, Julia Hart is injured as well, and Hobbs apparently got injured during his match with Moxley. The best one, though, and this man is marked for death. If you have not seen the news, Darby Allin was hit by a fucking bus in New York City.
You
I,
know what makes him a G? And my wife says this makes him a G. The fact that he went to a fucking Broadway play
yeah,
after getting hit by said bus and cleaning off.
that's definitely a power move, if you
Right?
ask me. Uh, yeah, this man got hit by a fucking bus with a broken foot while in New York City. Uh,
Trying to cross the street.
right, like this man can't even cross the street without hurting himself. How is he gonna survive climbing Everest? Like,
Uh, I,
let's be serious.
I
People
don't.
die on Mount Everest.
I know. That's why I'm nervous about him climbing when he said he wanted to do it.
I mean, I support it. I would like to see him reach the summit and come back safely.
Oh,
I
of
am a big
course.
Darby fan, but I mean, if you die, you die. The fuck around and find out level on that is real. And
Yeah, it is.
if you can't make it safely across the street, maybe you should really reconsider climbing Everest.
Right? Shit. You
Uh,
did forget about one person.
who?
MJF.
Oh, that's right. MJF had a long awaited shoulder surgery apparently on Thursday, if I read that correctly. Uh, man, see, you bring Darby Allin getting hit by a bus, and now everybody's in the comments.
Yeah,
What's
he
up,
said, "What's
Anthony?
up? What to do?" He said, "Coffin drop off the top of Mount Everest."
You know what, dude? I support that.
I can see him doing something like that crazy or jumping off of it on a with a fucking parachute. Crazy ass fool.
I think he needs to
And
check that one off the bucket list early. You know what, man? If he decides after all of these encounters with death that he still wants to climb Mount Everest, my hat is off to you. My prayers go out to you, and I hope you make it back safely.
same here, dude. I mean, go ahead and climb the mountain, get that off your bucket list. Good.
Fuck yeah.
Anthony says that's the best way to go
Best
out.
way to go out, man.
I mean, look, if he gets it, I hope everything is okay. I hope he's able to heal up, make it up there, and just do it. Um, wish nothing but best of luck to him on that. And then also everybody that is injured and hurt, we wish nothing but the best of luck to you from the Villains Lounge. Speedy recovery. We can't wait to see you guys back in the ring doing what you guys do and killing it like you do and putting your safety and your bodies on the line for our entertainment. We appreciate it. Like seriously. Like
Shout out to y'all for
I
real.
just I just wish Chris Jericho would get injured and get off my TV.
Oh, you know what? You know what? That
I
is
would want
horrible
him,
that you would even put that in the universe.
I just want him to break a toe.
That's so
Or like
horrible that you would even. Have you ever broken a toe?
it fucking sucks. Yes,
It fucking sucks.
exactly.
So,
But he won't be able to wrestle. We won't be able to
so
see him. It's not a bad
disappointed in you.
injury. He'll get over it.
Disappointed in you. Disappointed in you.
This is not like back in the day when, like, I don't know, where people weren't going to the doctors and got gangrene and had to get their foots cut off. Shit.
I mean,
I'm not
it could
asking for him
happen.
to lose a foot. I just want him to break a toe. The big one, preferably. So he can't definitely, like, do anything.
That's so fucked up.
No, it's not. You're
That
happy that
is.
he's on our TVs?
I like Chris Jericho, and I say nothing ill about the man in any way, shape, or form.
So you're happy that
I won't
he's the
do it.
FBW champion and
I
that he
won't
beat
do it.
up.
I won't do it. If that
That,
is what was in the cards for Tony Khan's decisions, then he might
that
have
wasn't a
needed to
that
reshuffle
wasn't
the
not a
deck.
yeah, that wasn't a Tony Khan decision. That was a Jericho bugging him decision. Let's just call it what it is.
Probably. But if that is the decision he decided to go with, then he might have wanted to reshuffle the deck.
Yeah.
Anywho, moving on.
Fuck Chris Jericho. All right. Well,
That's rude.
we're done with the news portion and me bitching about Jericho. Let's get into the review. So we're gonna start off with Monday Night Raw from April 22nd, 2024. And Raw opened up, and it looks like it was a Damian Priest promo with a
Yeah.
face to face with Jay Uso. McDonough tried to cause a distraction and interfere, but then got super kicked. I mean, Priest ended up getting super kicked anyway by Jay and standing tall, which means he's gonna lose.
Fuck yeah.
So then we have the Awesome Truth versus DIY for the WWE World Tag Team titles. And Awesome Truth were able to get their first title defense win. So congratulations, Awesome Truth. And it was one hell of a match because that's four great talent in there, which I think Awesome Truth was the only one that got picked up. I don't even think I was gonna pick DIY at one point, but I got New Catch instead.
Did you take New Catch?
Yeah, I got New Catch instead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm surprised none of y'all picked Awesome Truth.
No, I think Cliff picked Awesome Truth.
Did he?
He picked several tag teams.
I know he picked a bunch of tag teams. I can't remember all of them. So
yeah,
forgive
Awesome
me.
Truth was one of them. I was like, I'm surprised none of us picked DIY.
Okay, well, if he did, and that DIY is who I meant, not Awesome Truth.
Yeah. Then we had Gunther's return to Monday Night Raw.
Return of the Ring General.
Yep, he had the rest of Imperium out there with him. Xavier Woods and Kofi came out. Gunther said that he is putting himself in the WWE King of the Ring tournament, and Xavier said he is doing the same to defend his crown that Roman took from him months after he lost it. A couple years back? Because they haven't done it for a year, I think. Which then set up a match between the New Day and Imperium, with New Day picking up the victory, and then Ludwig Kaiser completely decimated his tag team partner Giovanni Vinci, causing the breakup or partial breakup of Imperium. Giovanni getting kicked out. It does seem like Giovanni has been like the bad catalyst in all of this.
The dead weight.
Kinda the way that they've been playing it. Because I know he got injured a couple of times, so he wasn't there sometimes. So it kind of is what it is. Then we get a face-to-face confrontation between Drew and Sheamus. And Sheamus is basically calling Drew a "Hi, baby bitch." Let's just call it what it is.
Hysterical.
And then we get into a Sheamus versus Shinsuke, with Drew still out there. Shinsuke tried to use Drew's presence as a distraction, but ended up getting hit with a bro kick and a 1-2 to that.
I just want to bring up the fact, in case nobody knew it, Sheamus entered the King of the Ring tournament. So Sheamus is in that tournament. He made a tweet that said if he wins the King of the Ring, he wants the Burger King title.
That's funny. That's funny.
If you saw the promo, you would understand Drew saying that it looks like Sheamus couldn't stop eating cheeseburger after cheeseburger.
I think he looks in decent shape.
He looks in decent shape, but
he doesn't look like he was before he got hurt.
To be fair, you have your own workout program.
Yeah, it looks like
he's been, channel.
Yeah, it seems like he's been slacking, it looks like.
And Facebook page.
Yeah.
And Instagram page.
Yeah. Well, that is what it is. Then we get Chad Gable to come out and completely shit on Alpha Academy. It was like, basically, look, y'all gonna help me win this title no matter what. And if you don't like it, hit the fucking bricks. And they all just held their heads down low and said, yes, massa.
Yes, massa.
That's pretty much what they said.
Bro, if this promo from Chad Gable didn't remind anybody of old school Kurt Angle when he had Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas and would just berate the shit out of them, man.
Oh, no, those three are getting replaced. Guess what I think they're going to get replaced by?
Who?
The Creeds.
Oh, yeah, the Creed brothers. I'd like that.
That right there would be Team Angle at its prime.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then we get Ricochet and Andrade versus JD Madonna and Santo Escobar, who had to take Dirty Dom's place because of his injury. And Ricochet and Andrade, they get the W, but it looks like Damian Priest came out there and took out Andrade and Ricochet.
Yeah.
Then we had the Women's World Title Battle Royal. A bunch of different women. I'm not going to put out everybody, but it looked like it came down to Becky, Liv, and Nia, with Becky coming out as the new WWE World Women's Champion. So good for her. Yes. Congratulations. And that was the main event, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go. That ends Raw. I guess let's move on to NXT Spring Breaking.
All right, have at it.
You don't want to do this one?
I'll do it. I don't care. I was just like,
all right, you can do it.
All right, so NXT started off with you had Perez going over Valkyria and Paxley. After that, you get the family over quarter catch crew. God, that is a fucking mouthful, and I stumble every time I say
it. No quarter catch crew.
I want to call them New Catch Republic. I want to call them a bunch of names except for what it is. You get Henley over Parker. Ruka
Actually, other way around. Parker defeated Henley. Yeah.
Okay, then I got that wrong. It was Parker over Henley. Excuse me. We get Ruka over Davenport, King over Corbin, and Damien, say his name.
Ilya Dragunov
versus. Come on.
My cousin Tay.
No.
Put some respect. In the ring?
Put some respect on his name.
I got some glasses.
Them bifocals.
Look, you're doing the review, so I don't have a reason to say his name.
I hate you. I absolutely hate you. You get Trick over Dragunov. That was Trick over Dragunov being your main event of the evening. From my understanding, I have not watched NXT all the way through yet. From my understanding, though, it was a pretty good main event.
It was really good.
Okay.
Trick definitely deserved the victory. There you go. I said his name.
Hey,
He definitely deserved that victory. Congratulations on becoming the new NXT champion. Uh, this kid has come a long way, dude. From the time he like stepped foot in the ring. Um, I mean, from day one when I saw the character, I fucking hated it, but I respected it because it was getting over. Dude. He's gotten over like Rover. He just needs to keep on doing what he's doing, keep on learning like he is in the ring. He gets better every time I do watch his matches. Don't get me wrong,
I know.
but nah, he deserved this.
I agree.
He deserved every second of that. Him and Dragonoff killed it. So congratulations, good job, my dude.
Great match. What was a great match?
All right, so I guess we'll go into AEW Dynamite, and
This
this is
one.
what I was talking about earlier. They started the show off with Perry and the Elite coming into the building, and them be like, "Hey, you can't come in," and then they stop with security. Then Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta thing going down. Trent saying that he needs to make a decision, or no, he said that last week. I think Chuck Taylor made his decision and attacked Trent, something like that. I don't know what's going on with that. Something like that. I think Chuck Taylor challenges him to a fight in the parking lot next week or this week. It happened. Something like that. Then we had the opening match, which was just the match was fine. It just very bad placement. An AEW World Championship Eliminator, which is basically a number one contenders match, with the champion Swerve Strickling defeating Kyle Fletcher. You got Mina Soroka. Did I spell
Saruka.
Sharika? I am butchering this lady's name. I am so sorry. She faced Anna Jay and defeated Anna Jay. God damn, I screwed that up. Then we got the
You really
Casino
did.
Gauntlet match. And it was supposed to be a shit ton more people in this match than what ended up coming out. But you had Penta, you had Commander, Kyle O'Reilly, Dante Martin, Jay White, Jay Lethal, and Lance Archer. And Will Ospreay got the W. So he gets a match with Roddy. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
in the main event of that night, you got the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match with the champion John Moxley versus Powerhouse Hobbs, with
Mm.
Moxley successfully defending. Um, I think Shibata looks like he's going to face Chris Jericho for the FTW Championship next week. And then we had a face to face between Jack Perry and Tony Khan because early in the night, the Elite went into Tony's office, basically saying they're going to make Tony come out and do a face to face. Jack Perry basically insisted that he gets reinstated and that, he's here to make the betterment of the company. And then they do an embrace and hold his hands up, and then he punches him in the gut and he sells it like he was knocked out like Mike Tyson.
Like he
Then
took
they
a Duke in.
right? And then the rest of the league comes out basically looking like they're going to scold the poor kid and look like they were going to hit him with the V trigger, I think it was, or the double V trigger. And then they helped him up and they ended up giving him a TK driver, aka formerly the Meltzer driver.
Formerly,
Um,
formerly
and
the Indie Taker.
yeah, and the crowd kind of popped for that. Kind of
Heck,
weird.
didn't they?
I don't think their numbers were even up for this show. I'm a little surprised because it was coming off of the heels of Dynasty. But what can I say? Oh, Chris Jericho did something in the ring with Big Bill and is going to be under the learning tree. Where did he steal that from? Think about it.
Oh, I know where they got it from.
Yeah. That was That was during our time.
Mhm.
We had a face to face between Willow and Mercedes. Then Rosa was in the back. That's about it. So that was Dynamite. Pretty decent,
That
but
was
not crazy.
Dynamite.
Um, at Impact, it looks like we got people
Some
walk
wrestling
the
matches.
announcers walking in, welcoming everybody to Impact. Nick Nemeth coming off to kick off the show with a promo. Not getting the job done. Um, Matt Hardy, who came back at Rebellion, showed up in the
Broken
ring
Matt.
as Broken Matt, and then they were confronted by the system, which is
From
Moose
my
Eddie.
under, from my understanding, he has not signed a contract with TNA.
No, it's by appearance.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, the system, which is Moose, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and Alicia Edwards, which is Eddie's wife. They had a face off. Um, looks like Mustafa Ali and Santino Morella had some kind of interaction to get his number one contender for the X Division title.
Okay. They didn't have fisticuffs.
And it was Jason Hotch and John Schuyler, but also the person that threw their name in the hat for that. You ain't gonna never guess who it is. Our girl
No,
Jordan
not.
Grace.
Oh.
Jordan Grace wants to fight Mustafa Ali.
Hey, man,
That might be a tight ass fucking
I'd
match.
watch it. I hope she beats him too.
It looks like Jordan Grace will be defending the World Knockout title against a Tokyo Joshi pro wrestler, and it's Mayu Yashimada. I probably completely screwed that one up too. You have Mike Santana who beat Myron Reed, which is part of the New Rascals. Um, and he won by pinfall. Oh, look, we got something to do with. Oh God, that is. Oh whoa, ooh, you should have not
See,
done that.
you
So
get
Steph,
excited about things, and then I get excited, and then you're like,
Steph
"Ooh, wait,
two
no."
people, two people. Well, I got excited because I saw PCO's name. It's
Oh,
next,
oh,
and it's next to Jordan Grace. Look, I like PCO. I don't care what you
I
say.
know you do. I know.
And it looks like a female and a male wrestler challenge PCO and Jordan Grace to a match,
Oh,
to an intergender match. That's
that doesn't even
that,
sound good,
no. That's I feel bad for those other two.
right? Like, why would you do that?
uh, Josh Alexander defeat Frankie Kazarian by submission.
Ooh, okay.
They're like building up their stuff. Uh, the new team called Top Flight. Isn't that a team in fucking AEW?
Top flight.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's supposed to be Rich Swan and AJ. It's Rich Swan and AJ Francis. And Bun B was there? Huh.
Yes, yes. Bun B has a thing going on. If you are any kind of music fan, you know who Bun B is.
I love
Bun.
Bun B.
I love Bun B too. I
Yeah,
lived
man,
in.
one of the greatest rappers out there. He doesn't get enough love like he should.
No, he does not. He opened a burger restaurant, kind of like if you're in the South, kind of like Whataburger.
Okay.
Uh, but it's called Trill Burger,
Of
and
course.
I have seen the pictures of these burgers on Instagram to where I'm ready to take a drive out to Houston just to try these burgers because they look so delicious. So yeah,
Oh,
Bun B is promoting promoting that, and he's getting involved with wrestling to help promote it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Then we got Zaya Brookside, and she beat Ash by Design by pinfall, schoolboy roll up. Then we
Nice.
had a 2-on-1 handicap match, and it was the Good Hands, John Scholar and Jason Hotch, who faced Sammy Callahan, who returned at Rebellion,
Oh, he did return.
and Sammy got the W.
Good old Warthog.
Then we got Eddie Edwards versus Nick Nemeth, and Eddie Edwards got the victory over Nick.
Nice.
And I think that was the main event. It looks like, and it looks like Mike Bailey, Trent Seven, and Nick's brother Ryan Nemeth came out to the ring to stop the system from beating down Nick
Okay.
at the end. All right, so let's get into the SmackDown review.
We are going to get into the SmackDown review because the SmackDown review also includes this week's picks for the WWE 2024 draft. If you were watching the debate show earlier, you have already seen Red Dog Chaz and our good old Damien here do their mock draft of it. So this will not reflect their picks.
Yeah, from my understanding, it was a lot more exciting too.
Yes, yours was, I really hope Raw saves this draft because if they don't, this was just pointless. Anywho, SmackDown started off with Kayla Braxton talking to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman informs us that Roman Reigns has removed himself from eligibility on being drafted. He will stay with SmackDown. I was wondering what they were going to do with Roman. I was wondering if he would stay on SmackDown or if he was going to go to Raw when he came back. I like him staying on SmackDown.
Same.
Moving on from there, we get the WWE contract signing for Backlash between AJ and Cody. This maybe it's because I'm used to contract signings ending in mass amounts of violence. This felt odd to me. There was a handshake. Like, handshakes don't happen at contract signings. We break that table.
It was a nice change, though.
No. The table must get broken at contract signings. That's how it goes.
I kind of like this nice change of pace.
Well, nobody cares.
Wow. Okay.
I'm joking. Everyone cares. Of course, AJ leaving. We get Triple H coming out. Damien's waving at you. Okay. Hi, Damien.
Hello.
Of course, Triple H comes out as Cody is. Why is it every week?
I don't know. It happens. It just happens.
Last week was my sister. This week is Carrie. Oh, man. Anywho, moving on. Cody goes to leave. We get Triple H coming out. Of course, this is the first round draft pick for SmackDown. Triple H saying, there's nobody better to help do the number one draft pick than the number one person on SmackDown, that being Cody Rhodes at the moment. Because we all know if you are the champion of your brand, you stay with that brand. Round one, of course, SmackDown picks the EST Bianca Belair. Raw went with main event Jey Uso. SmackDown, one of the very few call-ups, but from my understanding, he's kind of been on the SmackDown roster for a little bit. Carmelo Hayes showing up. Raw, of course, picking Seth Rollins. That was a no-brainer there. This was This was okay. This was okay. The thing that saved this was Carmelo Hayes coming out uh, and challenging Cody Rhodes, saying that he was going to shoot his shot, and ain't nobody better to shoot his shot against than the top dog, and that being Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, of course, accepting, and that is your main event for later this evening. Moving on from there, we get once again LWO versus Legado del Fantasma.
I kind of do wish this would end soon.
I really wish this would end soon, and that is exactly what I wrote down. Is this is kind of getting old when it's the same tag match every week. Of course, something had to save this, and what saved this was Santos Escobar coming out and saying that he is a lot of things, but the one thing he is not is a liar. And Elektra Lopez found security footage that showed us what happened to Dragon Lee. If you were an idiot,
Or living under a rock.
Living under a rock is the only way I feel that you would not have known that Carlito was the one who attacked Dragon Lee. And of course, what does the security footage reveal? Carlito was the one who attacked Dragon Lee. Of course, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio getting blindsided from behind by Carlito. Carlito dipping out of there quicker than anything. If you'd have blinked, you'd have missed Carlito in the ring. Moving on from there, we get Cedric Alexander versus Braun Breaker. Just another person fed to Braun Breaker. That's really all you can say about this. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was horrible. It ended rather quick, 30 seconds, maybe a minute. If it hit a minute, I'm impressed. Of course, Braun Breaker going over. Moving on from there, we get round 2 of the draft picks for the first night. This, of course, was done by Tori Wilson, Michelle McCool, which is always great to see both of them. SmackDown picking Nia Jax. Raw keeping Liv Morgan. SmackDown going with Randy Orton. And Raw going with Braun Breaker. My thing, and Ed, who is in the comments, and me were talking about this, and he brought up a really good point. What was the point of making such a big ordeal about Braun Breaker signing to SmackDown if you're just going to send him to Raw?
I know, right?
Like,
there was a big deal that he got signed to SmackDown.
Yeah.
That was weird.
You made an awfully big ordeal just to have him get traded away. Like, the more I sat there and thought about it, he was right. He was right. Why make a big ordeal about that? That is, of course, round 2 for the draft. Moving on from there, Solo arrives with his favorite thing, Tama Tonga. Of course, Paul Heyman opening the door like a good little servant who has been kidnapped and is scared for his life.
Blink twice if you're not safe.
Bro, breathe if you're not safe. At this point, like, this whole little backstage segment just showed they did the same thing with Jade Cargill as well.
Did she get traded?
No, Jade Cargill, as far as I know, Jade Cargill is still on SmackDown. She didn't get drafted at all.
I would figure because Bianca's still on. Bianca got traded though, didn't she?
Bianca's on. Bianca Belair's on SmackDown. No. Bianca
okay,
Belair's
well then, yeah. So they're not going. Yeah, they're not splitting them up. Okay.
That would be horrible. Horrible. If
I don't think they made a bigger deal of Jade though signing
than they did with Braun Breaker. Yeah, that I will agree with. So going back to this Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman and Tama Tonga angle going on. If you are a new wrestling fan, if you are just getting into this and you don't really know much about ECW Paul Heyman or pre-ECW Paul Heyman when he was doing shit for WCW and WWE,
The Dangerous Alliance.
yeah, with the Dangerous Alliance, this is your proof that Paul Heyman is one of the most versatile, intelligent, in tune with what he needs to do and how he needs to present it. Like, this just shows that Paul Heyman is probably the GOAT. If not the best. Like, no one will be able to do what this man does and get it over the way he does.
He's
Of-
definitely in the top 5 of greatest managers of all time. And
Yeah,
maybe even top 3.
of
I mean,
course.
there's an argument, of course, but he's definitely on that like Mount Rushmore kind of thing.
If he is not on the Mount Rushmore, then Mount Rushmore is bullshit.
Sure.
Of course, Solo asking Paul, have we been drafted yet? Paul Heyman saying, no, you guys haven't been drafted yet. Not saying that you won't, but you haven't yet. Of course, out of nowhere comes the crazy and unpredictable Kevin Owens, who just blindsides Solo, gets him completely out of the way, and just proceeds to beat the dog shit out of Tama Tonga. This was cool to see. This was cool to see Kevin get his revenge for what happened last week. Of course, going on from there, we get Kayla Braxton out in the crowd, or out on the ramp, talking to Bianca Belair about being drafted to SmackDown. Of course, this was abruptly interrupted by none other than Tama Tonga and Kevin Owens fighting their way from the parking garage through the entire backstage all the way up to the ring.
Of course they did.
Oh man, this is hysterical to watch because Kayla and Belair are mid-interview. The camera quickly changes angle, and just here comes Tama Tonga just getting his ass kicked all the way to ring. Just back and forth. Of course, Solo Sikoa making his way back to the ring, jumping Kevin Owens, making it a 2-on-1 against Kevin Owens, him and Tama Tonga. And out comes Randy Orton for the save. Solo and Tama Tonga kind of getting out of dodge before Randy Orton can really do much damage to him. This brings us to round 3 of funny how that works, huh? Yeah, it is really funny how that works. This brings us to round 3 of the draft picks. This, of course, SmackDown picking LA Knight. That was pretty expected. Raw, of course, taking your newly crowned WWE Speed Champion Ricochet, in case anybody other than me watches WWE Speed on X, Twitter, whatever you call it.
We actually mentioned it on the debate show that he won.
Oh, did you? Okay, that's cool. SmackDown, of course, drafting the Bloodline, that being Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman. Of course, if you missed the entrance of SmackDown, you would already know that Roman Reigns is staying on SmackDown. He can't be drafted. Going from there, we get Tiffany Stratton running into Nick Aldis backstage, saying that, asking if she saw what she did last week, asking where her title shot was. Nick going ahead and informing her that she will face Naomi again, and the winner will face Bayley at Backlash. This, of course, being Bayley's idea. That taking us into Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. This was a solid match, man. Like, it's great to see Naomi back and just feeling comfortable and just like nothing ever changed, like she was never even gone. It's cool seeing Tiffany Stratton just getting better and better every time I see her. It's amazing to watch. Of course, that being said, it was a solid match. Nia Jax, of course, wrecking Bailey at ringside out of nowhere. That was kind of cool to see. Stratton, of course, hitting a beautiful moonsault on both Bailey and Naomi. Uh, I like it. Later in the night, of course, we find out that Nick Aldis has had enough and that at Backlash it will be a triple threat match between Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and Bailey for the women's title. Going on from there, we get the final draft picks for the night for SmackDown and Raw. SmackDown taking AJ, Raw taking the Alpha Academy, which was Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, and
Maxine.
thank you, Maxine. SmackDown taking Andrade, and the other surprise, which I'm kind of impressed with. I didn't know she was going to get called up. Kiana James from NXT getting drafted to Raw.
Oh, that is a left field pick.
Yeah, isn't it? I like it.
Damn, I like that too. That's what's up.
Yeah, Kiana James is now a member of the Raw roster. It's going to be cool to see what she can do. I like what she does.
Good for her.
This brings us to the main event of the evening. Oh, before I forget, there was a backstage segment with Paul Heyman and Nick Aldis, where Nick Aldis informed Paul Heyman that it will be at Backlash Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Oh.
I have an awkward prediction.
That's an interesting match. That's a match I didn't know I wanted to see.
What an interesting decision, first and foremost.
Right?
I think this is where we get Jacob Fatu.
Possibly.
I think this is where we get Jacob Fatu, and Paul Heyman really starts to get scared for his life.
I mean,
you have a savage like Solo Sikoa. You have a monster like Jacob Fatu. And then you just have an uncontrollable lunatic in Tama Tonga. I love it. I love it, man.
Dude, man.
If there is nothing more that could give me wild Samoan vibes from the days of old, this is it for me. Those three together.
That's unfair. Just imagine if Roman had those three. Imagine if he had those three going into this year's WrestleMania. Cody wouldn't have been finishing his story.
No, Cody would not. Not a chance. Not a fucking chance. I don't care what decade Undertaker you brought out. Not a chance.
No, because it would have been unfair.
So unfair. This, of course, going back to what I said, that was the draft picks for SmackDown and Raw. This brings us to our main event of the evening. Carmelo Hayes and Cody Rhodes. I don't think we have enough time for me to get into how exactly I felt about this match. This was amazing. This was more than amazing in my mind. This was almost fucking art. Like, flawless art at that. Of course, the double springboard cutter spot where they both miss and crash and burn was phenomenal. This was a solid match, man. Like, this just proves that with the generation of wrestlers coming up, that wrestling is in great hands.
I love when we see that.
Huh?
I said I love when we see that. Like, you see the
I-
next crop of talent. You're like, because we said that shit like about like Seth and them, and
Well,
also,
I liked Seth all the way back to when he was Tyler Black
same.
in Ring of
I'm
Honor
talking
days.
about like when you get that new crop of like new talent in WWE. Because for me,
Yeah.
WWE is just a completely whole different monster and machine.
Oh yeah.
It's not like any other company.
You can't look at WWE the same as you look at AEW, TNA.
Yeah.
Yes and no for New Japan. There are some similarities, but New Japan is just so embedded in tradition, and this is what you do, and this is how it's done. And
they respect WWE for being able to build so many stars.
you have to be able to, man. You can't just look at WWE and be like, oh, they're creating stars, but everybody can go anywhere and be a star. I mean, that is true, but at the same time, like we said on our phone conversation the other day, if you go to WWE, you tend to have a little bit more credibility if you were to leave and go somewhere else.
You do. You just do. It just is what it is. They're more recognized.
But they are. They've been around the longest. They've done the most. And who doesn't know Hulk Hogan? You think professional wrestling, you think Hulk Hogan, you think WWE, you think, all of that. And the main common denominator in all of that is WWE. But of course, like I said, that was your main event. Carmelo Hayes and Cody Rhodes absolutely tore the house down. Cody Rhodes going over, obviously, if you didn't know. That was SmackDown.
Well, I think Cody losing would have been more detrimental, hurting him.
I don't think it would. You know what? I don't think it would have. I think if Cody would have decided to take that L, I don't think it would have hurt him that much.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, in losing, Carmelo wasn't hurt in any way, shape, or form. If anything,
no.
He benefited from it more than anything. That's why I said it would have been more hurtful to Cody taking the L than him getting than Carmelo taking the L is what I'm basically saying.
Yeah,
they could have did something if it was the other way around. But you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but I think in this situation, to be honest, it didn't hurt anybody.
I mean, I don't think it really hurt anybody anyway, just because we got that amazing fucking match.
It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
Everybody won on that main event.
For sure.
Well, that was our SmackDown review, and that is the end of our show.
That's all, folks.
Thanks for sticking around. This is actually a little bit longer than last time. We kind of sped through last time.
Yeah, we did.
But again, thanks for watching. It'll be on YouTube later. Always like your comments, even though if we don't show them all the time. It is what it is. We'll be back next Saturday.
We will be. Will it be Saturday?
Yeah, it'll be Saturday. It'll be this Saturday in the evening as usual. We'll come at you with the news and the reviews for the week.
Yes,
and
sir.
With that being said, I guess we will bid you good day. Remember, so just like, subscribe, all our shit. X 3count_pod. Everything else is 3count pod. Remember, it is the number 3. Do not spell out 3. It's the number 3.
We don't give out any rewards or trophies here.
Nope. We hand out fuck yous. And with that being said, buy our shit, like, subscribe, and all that.
Buy their shit.
keep
That shit.
requesting. Request our shit and get a Villains Lounge t-shirt on the market soon. So with that being said, peace out.